That Jenna Coleman and Aidan Turner have joined us. So nice to have some company in the studio. So, very exciting. It was announced earlier that you two are going to be starring in a play together called, let me get this right now, Lemons, 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 Lemons. Five lemons, yeah. And the tagline says, a love story that leaves you speechless. So, Aidan, I'm going to give you the job of explaining all.
How many words? How many words?
You choose.
OK, let me see how many I can do then. So the play is about a couple, Oliver and Bernadette, who live together at a time when a piece of legislation, a law has been passed, something called the Hush Law, where they're only allowed to have everyone in the country, 140 words per day to use. So I think the play is about how we communicate, what are the things we would say to each other, who would we talk to, and how would we speak to each other and communicate.
It's a very different premise for a play, isn't it? Something we've never heard of before. Jenna, how did your agent sell this to you? Because, you know, you imagine the conversation, well, it's not really a big speaking part. You must have thought, hang on, what's going on here?
I guess effectively it's, you know, it's a play which each day the couple has 140 words. So, yeah, it's a play about not being able to speak or communicate or express, or it's the way in which you choose to do that, which I think is obviously where it becomes much more interesting. It's what's chosen to be said and how to say it and what's left between the silences and the spaces in between. And it's, in a way, it's a study and an exploration of a relationship and how that brings Oliver and Bernadette together and apart, and, you know, work-life balance, what's chosen to be said at work, what chooses to be said at home, how many words do you use up and say for your partner? Yeah, so it's we kind of meet them at very different stages of this relationship and see the effect it has upon them.
It's quite a useful
There was a lot of words.
There was a lot of words.
I'm
such a talker. I'm going to be, this is terrible.
I would be hopeless, but it's quite an interesting thing to put into practice for a spell, isn't it? And see how you get on. It must have made you, Aidan, reassess the way you communicate to a point.
Well, I think I'd like to try it. I haven't yet. I keep sort of flirting with the notion of, let's see how I get on with 140 words. It sounds like it's something you could do, but I think it'd be quite frustrating. But yeah, I think you'd reflect quite heavily on yourself. Who would you speak to? What are the things you would say? Would it make you a nicer person? Is there still anger and hate and all these things, you know, bouncing around if you only have a certain amount of words? Would you waste your time with those kind of emotions? I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe in writing emails, because sometimes we can all go off on a tangent, and maybe the thing to do is to...
rein it in.
Rein it in.
I'm with you on that.
Where do the lemons come into it, Jenna?
The lemons are... It's a scene. There's a certain scene in the play where Oliver has effectively used all his words up, and I suppose it's quite a destructive... Bernadette decides to use her words and waste her words, and I guess it's a vent, like venting.
Yeah, and 5 when you've only got 140.
Yeah, 5
That's a big statement, isn't it?
Frit away on lemons in a very brilliant speech that Sam Steiner has written.
So you two aren't even in rehearsals yet, because this is right at the beginning. But it comes to the West End in the new year, and then it travels, doesn't it, all around the country?
It does. We go to Manchester first, I think. What are our Manchester dates?
We go to... no, I don't remember the dates.
Brighton and Manchester.
We're Brighton and Manchester.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were up for that, Jenna. That was part of the appeal for you.
Yeah, well, Manchester is... I'm from Blackpool originally, so Manchester is, for me, where when I was growing up, used to go to the theatre all the time in Manchester.
I mean, could you not convince them to go to Dublin, Aidan?
That might be a thought. The producers are backstage. I might have a word straight after. That'd be a good date, yeah.
This is what you need to do.
I think you're right.
I mean, with what you know already, and of course it's early days, and it's quite weird to have you sitting here talking about it, because of course you two haven't worked together on this yet. But in your head, I'm going to give you 3 words, Aidan, to sum it up. I know, you knew this was coming.
Not enough words.
Oh, very good.
There you go, take that.
Well, the play starts at the Harold Pinter Theatre in London from the 18th of January, and then we'll travel to the Manchester Opera House and then on to Theatre Royal Brighton from the 21st of March until the 1st of April. Quite the run. Yeah. And we have to say congratulations, Gemma, because we've also heard that the Sandman is back on Netflix. 2nd series.
Yes.
Jenna, that's good news. People will be wanting to know when you're starting to film.
See, this is when I became speechless because I'm instantly terrified I will get in any form of trouble by saying anything. But it has been renewed for a second series, which is great, and great for Sandman fans out there.
Any spoilers?
No spoilers to share.
No,
Suddenly
look,
I've gone speechless.
Jenna's very careful. She's not saying
Fair.
anything, but it's good news. It's lovely to have you both. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Jenna and Aidan, help me out. I'm on my own tonight. Now then, look who we found. Ben Miller. There you go. Welcome,
I just
Ben.
hide behind the sofa and pop out occasionally. Yeah.
So Halloween, done.
Yes.
Bonfire night, done. And now we can
legitimately-
roll on.
Legitimately talk about Christmas.
Lovely, which is fine by me and fine by you.
Well, as we've seen, the decorations are up or starting to come up this week. Yeah, I'm absolutely mad on Christmas. Always have been. And I just can't wait. I'm so into it. I'm going to drag you all with me as well.
Well, you've been celebrating since August because you've got a new children's book out. Tell us about the book.
So yes, I write, because I write children's books,
Yes.
and I've written another children's Christmas story. It's called Secrets of a Christmas Elf. It's basically the diary of a Christmas elf, Father Christmas's daughter, who is a bit worried about Father Christmas. He's got a lot on, and she wonders whether it would help if she built a robot Father Christmas, and of course, disaster ensues with highly comic consequences. I just can't get enough of reading these stories to my own kids. I love writing.
Lovely.
But of course, in August, I have to start writing the book. So they get Christmas. They get Christmas. They get the whole story of the Christmas elf from about the middle of June
Amazing.
to about the end of August. Yes, so it's slightly weird.
The illustrations are really lovely. They're quite old-fashioned, aren't they? But they're really, really pretty. And you two, now you won't know this probably, but Ben, this is his third Christmas children's book. Not only are you a triple threat, you're a quadruple threat, you are.
Quadruple threat.
Quadruple
Yeah.
threat. Where do you get your inspiration from then?
Well, from my kids. I mean, genuinely from my kids. I mean, I started writing the stories for my children. So my first 3 books, they all had each of my children as the main characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jackson, Harrison, Lana. Then I ran out of kids. And this is true, I wrote a story about my dog. That was a tough year. And then I started making things up, which has been, that's been more productive. I tried that. So I tried making some stuff up, and I've gone back to writing about my kids again. So now I write about Harrison and Lana, adventures, magical adventures that sort of take place.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading it to my children this Christmas. And you've got a Christmas film, and it's
Yes.
called, I mean, you can't forget it, This is Christmas.
That's a good title.
Well,
don't
exactly.
you?
And I was hoping for a rom-com, and da-da! My wish is your command.
Yes, so this, I love the pitch. I'm going to try and pitch it as well as it was pitched to me. But
Okay.
basically, when you're on a commuter train and there's a sort of unwritten law that nobody speaks to anybody else, you sort of ignore everybody else. And one Christmas, this main character, Adam, played by Alfie Enoch, he's sort of slightly falling in love with Kaya Scodelario's character, Emma, on the train, and he decides that he's going to make a gesture and invite everyone to a Christmas party. And it's a really, really lovely story of how this one small act of kindness at Christmas then snowballs, if you pardon the pun, into changing everybody's lives on this commuter train. So, of course, people have all kinds of... There are people on there who are lonely, there are people there who have family problems, there are people there who have work problems, and everything becomes resolved through this one gesture that he makes through this party. And everybody, of course, ends up by the end, I don't want to spoil it, but, by the end of the film, this commuter train where nobody spoke to anyone else, it's like a village,
So
and
it's
everybody's...
feel-good, very feel-good.
very feel-good, yeah.
Lovely. Aidan, you've got a 10-month-old little boy. So Christmas different this year then?
I think it'll be a little bit different, yeah. I don't know if he's going to know it's Christmas, so yeah, I think it's a little early for your book or for your movie, but yeah.
But it's still nice. Once the children in the frame, lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Very nice, very nice. And you two, we were just saying, you two haven't worked together. The play will be the first thing, but you two have worked together.
We've been Doctor Who.
Who, yeah.
Yeah.
And am I okay to say, Ben, I mean, it's too late now because I'm halfway down that sentence. Am I okay to say that you quite fancied playing the Doctor?
I'd have loved to have been Doctor Who. I was once approached and asked if I would be interested in being Doctor Who. This is going back a few years.
Right.
And I said, yes, I would be interested, at which point I never heard anything else ever again.
Shame.
And Doctor Who became more and more successful without me. Yeah, so, but I'm not bitter because I did get to play the Sheriff of Nottingham in the episode Robot of Sherwood.
Yes.
I think it was
Robot
called.
of
Yeah, that
Sherwood,
we were in
good.
together.
There's still time though, Ben. This is the thing. Still time.
There is still time.
Ben's book, Secrets of a Christmas Elf, is out on Thursday, and you can see him in This Is Christmas on the 9th of December on Sky Cinema. And all of Jenna's Doctor Who episodes are on iPlayer, if you want to see them. Right, we've got some messages. Now then, Jacqueline says, I've booked to see Lemons in Manchester in March with my daughter. We are very excited and can't wait. No pressure. They haven't been in rehearsals yet.
We've literally just met.
Just
And then
now,
Warm
right
Banks,
now.
lots of people getting in touch about Warm Banks. Diana says there's a local church in Hutton that provides a warm, friendly cafe that supplies hot food and drinks and a friendly chat, and it's a lifeline for people in the area. And then lots of comments on the Surprise Squad. Yvonne says, amazing, you should be so proud of what you've achieved. Loads and loads of comments on the Surprise Squad, and we will catch up with them again this week. And don't forget, if you would like to show your support and donate to BBC Children in Need, all the information you need is online at bbc.co.uk. There it is for you, /Pudsey. And thank you to everybody who's put your hand in your pocket so far. We know it's not an easy time to be asking. Now, before we go, you may have heard today that we've lost 3 actors and we'd like to pay tribute to them. Leslie Phillips, who starred in the Carry On films. Then Bill Treacher, one of the original cast members of EastEnders, playing Arthur Fowler, of course. And star of The Last of the Summer Wine, Tom Owen. Our thoughts are with their families and friends. And that's all we've got time for this evening. Thank you so much to our guests, to Aidan, to Jenna and to Ben. I'll be back tomorrow with Watchdog, Tom Allen and Oti Mabuse. And we won't be on in Wales, so Mum and Dad, it's on the iPlayer for you. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.